Beautiful New Zealand. Wish everyone is doing great out there. You've had a lot of earthquakes this past week and quite a few earthquakes today. Matter of fact, it was 62 today. We'll give you a volcano update, an earthquake update, and show you what has occurred this past week. Let's do this. Hey New Zealand, been a little bit, but I want to make sure we get you caught up to date on exactly what's been going on. Want to let you know there were 62 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. So yes, it was 62 earthquakes in a day, you might as well say. And you had at least 360 earthquakes for the whole entire week. Now you have had some strong ones and they were in the fives. There was two of them that were actually in the five magnitude that happened over the last week. And to give you an idea, there were 62 earthquakes, 30 quakes were 2.0 magnitude or higher, and 6 earthquakes that were 3.0 and higher. Now you can see the stats for the week. You can see it was 155 for the twos and 26 for the threes. For the fours, it was 4, and for the fives, there were 2 fives. One was offshore and one was, both of them were offshore, but the thing is one was a lot closer to the residents that were in the bay. Just want to give you an idea on what type of earthquakes you had. Most of them were under twos, as you can see, and a lot of them were offshore. Some of them were in the different bays. Some were actually in Taupo. Taupo actually had some earthquakes, but we're gonna talk about the volcanoes and everything and get you up to date. But I just want to show this to you because I did read the comment about, being appreciative over the video because a lot of things you're not hearing out there, and I really don't mind at all. So I'm just going to scroll through this slowly so you can actually see what took place. There are some threes. There's a 3.3 right there. There's a 2.9 that was by Te Ano. I hope I said that right. And you also had a 2.6, 2.7. You can see right here. Just to give you an idea, they were actually very low, and I don't mind at least showing you this because you need to have an idea of what's actually happening. And others that don't live out in New Zealand, you're very fortunate to hear the things that's going on in your area because there's some people that aren't able to hear all the different things that's going on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Now we're going to start off with the South Island. These are two different tectonic plates. One is on the Australian plate and the Pacific plate is right here. And that's the reason why you're having a lot of these earthquakes along this fault line here, New Zealanders. I want to let you know that because your island here, the South Island, is on two different tectonic plates. And that's part of the problem there. And then as you can see, the North Island was actually slammed. Now it was really slammed out in the water. They had some fives out here. They had some larger ones. We're going to talk about the North Island. Don't think I'm going to, not talk about it. But that was one of the fives there, and the other 5 was located here, and it was like a 5 point. Oh, that's right. That's the newer one. That's the one that happened within the last 7 hours. There we go. This one was a 5.7, and it was 2 days ago. And it actually generated 237 people stating that they felt it. And the different things that they said, just to give you an idea of if you didn't feel it, there was quite a few people that did. Most of the people were more than likely asleep because I did notice more than one of them stated that they mentioned their beds, that they were in the bed sleep while this was happening. So it was just shaking and it woke people up. Someone said it felt like someone was kicking the bed. But this right here, the poor thing, this lady Armel was talking about their cats were alarmed and running for cover. I see that a lot in the various reports. But that's just to give you an idea. It did generate a large area of responses of people stating that they felt that particular earthquake. Now, if we look up here, just to give you an update on the volcano, I promised at the very beginning of the video, I did state we were going to give you an update on the volcanoes. White Island Volcano is actually under warning to erupt. It's not erupting anymore, but it is under warning. So I just want to let you know that, just in case you're going boating out that way or fishing out that way, let people know that stay clear of that volcano. Also in Taupo was actually getting earthquakes, and you can see all the different areas around Taupo. You can see that it's more spread out than it looks when I'm up high, but all throughout this area and also by the volcanoes were earthquakes. Not by all the volcanoes, but it was by this one, particular one here. And pretty much it's just spread out. The ones that are red are the ones that happened within the last 24 hours, just so you know the difference. Now let's take a look at Lake Taupo. The volcano here is actually under what they call unrest. The next stage would be warning for eruption. So right now it's one step down, one status down, or one stage down from the White Island volcano. But as you can see, the earthquakes did happen throughout the week. Not as much as they have in the past, but they definitely are happening. And I think the highest one they were in the twos. The ones that were the largest were in the twos. This one was a little larger though. This was a 3.2 and it happened 2 days ago, and it's still in that general area. Just remember this area here, all around this area is actually deforming. So it's not in the best of shape, but just want to let you know, be careful out that way, especially if you're going out to Lake Taupo. That volcano is under unrest. There are no other volcanoes in this area that are under any type of warning or status. And like I mentioned before, we did take a quick look at the earthquakes. Most of them are in the twos that you'll see here, except for when you go out in the water. I think wasn't there a 3 out there somewhere, 2.2? And these are also twos. It must have disappeared because these disappear after 7 days. But just to give you an idea, yes, there are a lot of earthquakes. I don't know if you guys are feeling them or not. I don't see responses for all of the earthquakes that occurred. But the South Island in the north part is actually getting a high concentration of earthquakes as well. Now down here, I need to let you know this. This little part of the island here is on the Australian plate. This big chunk over here is on the Pacific plate. So you're going to have earthquakes up in this area. And the one that they had that was the largest, and that was the other 5 that we mentioned before. That's the 5.2. But hopefully things will stay low in the twos. If you're going to have earthquakes, hopefully they'll stay low. And hopefully the 5s don't hit, inland or on land, where everyone is living. Now, Auckland has been able to escape the different ones, except for there was an earthquake that occurred right by the volcano here. It was a 2.3 that was just 2 days ago. Just want to let you know that too. So Auckland did have an earthquake, and basically it was right there by the volcano. Like, share, and subscribe, and please make sure you let people know that there are definitely earthquakes near some of these volcanoes out here, and to be careful if they're going to be on the North Island. Talk to you guys soon. Make sure you stay safe. Make sure you have a disaster app out there, something to alert you in case something happens, because you're having a lot of seismic activity out there. All right? Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Ciao.